Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chameleon for the first ever Rostock update video that we're going to post on here. We have a lot of new stuff today. We have a new lobby, new garage, and some pretty cool cars, and some pretty controversial topics that we'll get into later in this video. But first, we are going to start with the lobby. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new lobby. We have a pretty cool wall coloring with some questionable colors for the logo. We have the new podiums with the turkeys, and the big Rostock Racing logo up there has outdated its color. You have the fall theme still sticking on, and the lobby honestly looks like very Thanksgiving related. Some of the colors are a bit weird, though. Honestly, I think I'd give this lobby an 8 out of 10, 8 or 9 out of 10. I honestly think it's pretty good. You know what? My final rating is going to be an 8. So this lobby will receive an 8 out of 10. Good job. And right here is another new part of this update. This is the home option, where you can customize your home. You can pick out a TV, your kitchen counter. You have a good view. But no, this is actually the new garage. So this will be the new garage UI. You'll get to see what it looks like with all the cars there that we go through with the schemes. But let me get to, I think, the angle of it. I think it's going to be like this. I don't know. But I'll tell you why in a second once we start going over the schemes. Alright, so this is the first car we're going to go over. This is Michael Waltrip's infamous tape car. This is a mythical car that you can get through crates. This scheme was made by Teapot. He has some other cool schemes in this update as well that I think that y'all will enjoy. Me personally, though, this car just doesn't look right. The textures for this car just look weird. I think there could have been other Michael Waltrip racing schemes that could have been used here. I do respect the dedication for this car. However, I don't think it's a me type thing. So I'm gonna give this car a 5 because it's obvious that there was a lot of effort putting into blending in the stuff, but this car just isn't for me. This right here is Austin Intimidator. This scheme is the rare rarity that you can get in crates. This scheme was made by X60, one of 3 that you can receive this update of his. I don't know why the camera moves like that, but it's gonna stay in the video. Honestly, I like this scheme a lot. I think it looks exactly like the Austin Dillon scheme that he had in Richmond. I don't really see anything wrong with it. However, I don't like Austin Dillon as a driver, so I am going to have to remove a point. This is going to receive a 9. This is Pacific Herbst, another X car. This joins the series of the fictional Monster Energy cars that has been put into this game. And honestly, even though it's not my favorite one, I still think it's a pretty good scheme. One little nitpick that I don't like is I don't really like the sand texture, but I know that was weird. I know that looks like the bottle itself. However, I think it looks pretty good. I think you're gonna see some people using this scheme, and I'm gonna give this scheme an 8 out of 10. This is the last X scheme that's gonna be in crates. This is Exoback. It's a legendary. And it's a standard fictional car. You have the Roush font. One little thing I am gonna get into with this car is that for a fictional car, I really don't know why he did this, but he chose Marlboro as one of the sponsors. That's a cigarette company on a fictional car. I really don't know why he did that, but it brings down the score a bit. It's going to be a 6 or a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. So this is the first of many Ross Chastain schemes this update. This is the Ross Express remake by Nino. It basically put the old Ross Express, or it put the Ross Express car onto the 2024 Gen chassis, and this will be a mythical. I don't know if that means that this car will be in crates. I hope not. I'm going to assume that it won't be. But I'm going to give this car a 9. I think it genuinely looks pretty cool, and I think the community will like it. So this is another remade car made by Nino. This is Danny X Suarez. a unobtainable crate car that might actually become obtainable again. I don't know. This does fall under the rare rarity, and I honestly do like this scheme a lot. I'm going to give it the same rating that I gave to Ross Express, which was a 9. Another event scheme remake, again by Nino. This is SSG Chastain. Um, a car that was in the 2023 July 4th event that has been converted over to the 2024 mesh. Um, I do think that this car is quite bland in real life, so I am gonna knock it off a bit. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. I just don't think this one is as good as the other two that we saw before it. But still, it is a good car, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it. Here is our first new scheme from Nino. This is AJ Express. This will be in crates with a mythical rarity, and I honestly think it does look pretty good. However, I think I'm starting to see a theme about the cars that Nino did make, which isn't bad. I think all these cars so far are pretty good. However, I think I do kind of see a theme forming with some of these cars. I'm going to give it an 8 because I think that the Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez WW Worldwide Express cars are better. So, yeah, that's my ranking. I'm going to give this one an 8. This is Ross on a Shipper, a legendary card that you can receive in crates. Me personally, I don't really like this scheme that much. The red number kind of kills it a bit. Even though this is a replica scheme and the scheme just looks mid by default when they actually ran it. I still think Nino did a pretty good job with this one, but I think it's going to be a less rating than the other ones. I'm going to give it a 7. On the opposite side of the spectrum, though, this is Corny Chastain, a rare car that you can get in crates. I really like this car. I think it's one of the best in the update. And we have another addition to the Bush Light plant, or like fruit and vegetable scheme, if you want to call it like that. I personally really like it. I think it's the best one in that entire series. I'm going to give it a 10. It's going to be the first 10 of the day for the schemes, and this scheme was made by Nino. And ladies and gentlemen, this may be a contender for best scheme of the update. This is made by Nino. It's a mythical car, and I think it's well deserved to be in this game, honestly. And I think it's a fantastic scheme overall, and I think that bringing it to Rostock doesn't make it look any worse. First 10 of the day, and the first 10 of the update is going to go to Nino. This is a Fire Phoenix. This is the only known personal car for the update, and it is for the player Firefox. The scheme creator Yuiko will also get the scheme as well. I will still talk about it because I do have my thoughts about it. Number one, this scheme was put in the leaks channel, and for it being a personal scheme, I don't understand why you would do that, considering it gives players a false incentive to think that they would get this scheme in crates. Another gripe that I have with this car is that it's a replica car, and a lot of people are gonna want this car, but they will not realize that they will not have it. And I think that, if you're gonna get a personal car, I think it should be a fictional car, all to yourself, with you being the main designer of it. It's unfortunate. I think this car could have been a good crate scheme, but I don't think that will happen. I'm gonna give this one a 5 because I don't really understand some of the decisions that were made with the scheme. However, I still think it holds up as the scheme itself. Here is the first crate scheme that Yuiko has brought us. This is the King's Hawaiian Despicable Me 4 Brad Keselowski car that he ran, I believe, in the summer stretch, somewhere in there. This is a mythical that you'll be able to find in crates. The scheme by default looks kind of bland and has a lot of wasted space. Which isn't a fault of the scheme creator at all. It's just an overall mid-looking car. So I'm gonna give it an 8, but it's kind of a mid-Brad car if you think about it. This is Boomer Keselowski, another scheme brought to crates by Yuiko. This is a rare scheme, or a scheme that falls into the rare category, and this is the complete opposite of the Minions car. This scheme looks really good. I think that there's not a lot of wasted space on here, and honestly, I'm gonna give this one a 10. I think this is probably one of the best schemes that Yuiko has brought out here, and and I know a lot of people are gonna want to get it when it comes into crates. So yeah, I think this is one of, if not the best scheme in this update. 10. And going from a good decision to a weird decision. This is Fat Brad. This is a legendary car that you can get in crates. Um, there's already a base shop car with this exact scheme. And I know a lot of scheme creators have actually updated the older base shop cars, but I find it very weird that that one wasn't updated and instead we got a completely different scheme. And with the next car, I will say it is the exact same case for it as well. The scheme looks fine. I think it would have been just better off though, just to remake those older base shop schemes instead of just having these Nexusel cars on two separate meshes. But I'll just rock with it, I guess. I'm gonna give it a 6 based on the decisions. I think the scheme itself is also kind of mid. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6. Just like with the other next result car, we have the 17 car as well. Excuse the bright lights. Um, again, I'm gonna give this one a 6 also. It's basically the same thing I said about the Brad car, except it's Chris Buescher's car. So I'm gonna give this one a 6 as well. So weirdly enough, we are actually out of the schemes made by the actual scheme creators. So we have a bunch of community schemes here. And this is the first one, Family Jones. It is a uncommon car made by Bag Boy. I know that's a very popular individual within the Rostock community. I think this scheme looks honestly kind of good. Um, they have a lot of sponsors on there, not a lot of wasted space. I think it's a fairly decent scheme. I'm gonna give this one an 8. I think it's gonna be pretty cool to see this on there because I don't think we've gotten a lot of Eric Jones car. I don't think we have gotten a lot of Eric Jones cars this year, so I think it's very good to see that. And here's a car that should have been here 2 years earlier. This is Kyle Zombie, a mythical car that you can find in crates. And this was made by Dusane's. The scheme looks nice. I'm going to rate this one the same that I did with the 43 car. I think both of those cars are very decent cars. I don't think there's really nothing wrong with them, but yeah, I'm going to give them 8s. I think they both deserve it. Here is another Dusane scheme. This is Airborne Chastain. You can find this car in crates, and it has a legendary rarity. The car looks good. I'm going to rate this one, again, like the other cars, because I think they all go into a separate category. And they all, or at least the first 3 cars will receive an 8. However, there is a problem I do need to talk about. This is the 6th Ross Chastain scheme in this update. And I don't know, I just kind of have the opinion that, a lot of certain driver schemes are being made, but there's a lot other ones that just aren't being made. And I actually have some evidence for this. For example, Corey LaJoy has had 2 schemes this year. Both of them are remakes of older ones. Zane Smith has a base shop car, and that's it. Carson Hocevar has a base shop car, and that's it. I believe that also goes for Ricky Stenhouse. I could be wrong, but I feel like that we don't really need a lot of schemes for one driver, but we just need like 1 or 2 from multiple, and I think that would work out fine because I don't know. I just feel like there shouldn't be 6 Ross Chastain schemes in this update, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like that some of those schemes could have gone to other drivers that probably could have needed them. But I'm not gonna complain. I'm not telling them what to do. I'm just saying this is my opinion on stuff, and this is a thing that personally I really don't agree with. There shouldn't be 6 Ross Chastain schemes in this update. But hey, that's my take. I'll give this car an 8. I think it's perfectly fine. Moving on. So this is Mark Ambrose. This is a car made by Lefty97, and it is under the rare rarity. I think that this car is a bit less deserving of an 8. There's a lot of space behind the driver's door behind the number. that I think some sponsors could get into. But I'm not a paint scheme creator. I'm just giving my own opinions on stuff. But still a pretty decent scheme. I'm gonna give it a 7. This is the other Ambrose Carlos update, again made by Lefty97. This also will fall under the rare rarity and is in crates. This is Mad Ambrose, and I'm gonna rate this one higher because we haven't gotten a Mac Tools Marcus Ambrose car yet. However, there still is a big gap on the door. I'm actually gonna rate this scheme as 7.5 because even though it is newer, I still think that that door issue still kind of is there. So, actually, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 7.25. I think that's fair. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.25. This is Kyle Davenport. This is the first scheme from the George. It is a uncommon car that you can get in crates. This is one of Kyle Busch's non NASCAR cars. This is one of his late model cars. It looks like. Um, I think it's fine. Obviously, converting a late model to this is going to be hard. I'm going to give it a 7, I think it's deserving of a 7. It's not the best scheme that we've seen, however, I think that it could be a lot worse. Alright, this is another car made by the George. This is Kyle Bullrang. That's another one of his late model cars. This is a common car that you can get in crates. Um, a thing I just noticed is that the door on this car is actually moved forward, while the other car actually is not. So I'm gonna actually give the other car a 6.5, and I'm gonna give this one a 7 because it is just a white car with sponsors on it. Um, Obviously, as I said earlier, the late model schemes are going to be harder to convert into the Rostock schemes. I'm going to give this car a 7 and bump the other car down to a 6.7 or 6.5. I'm pretty sure yeah, 6.5. This is Champ Majeski. This is a car made by the George. It's his best one by far. This car is a legendary car that you can find in crates. It is Ty Majeski's championship-winning truck. The only gripe to me is that the roof number is a bit too big, but I will say it is a lot better than his other cars. I'm gonna give it a 9. After unfortunately we couldn't get the Scott Bloomquist car all to ourselves, this is another car made by the George. This is a mix with Bloomquist's car and Tyler Reddick's Jumpman car. Um, I honestly think it's really good. You can get this in. Well, first off, you can get this in schemes, or you can get this in crates, and it is a rare rarity that you can get, or it is a it has the rare rarity. I think it's decently good for a fictional scheme. Um, Obviously, I think the Jumpman logo there is pretty cool, and I think on the other side of this is. Oh no, I thought it. Oh wait, I thought it. Okay, let me just start right here. When I first saw the picture of this car, I thought it was Tyler. I thought it was Tyler Reddick standing on top of the car. I was wrong. I'm gonna dock a point off because I think that would have been a lot better. But this is like a mix between the Bloomquist and Tyler Reddick schemes. I think it's fine. It's not his best. I'm gonna give it a 7. Now this doesn't look like a NASCAR. This is actually Shane Van Gisbergen's Australian Supercars car, and it actually looks really close to it. This was made by the George, and you can pick this up in crates. It has a mythical rarity with it. I like it a lot. I don't think it's as good as the Majeski car. I like that the number is right there on the pillar right there. But I think that's really cool. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna go with all the other pretty cool schemes as well, besides the Majeski one, because I think that one's pretty cool. Here's the other Shane Van Gisbergen Australian Supercars car. If I didn't say it earlier, these were made by the George as well. I don't like this car as much as I do the other ones. I'm gonna give this car a 7.5. Um, yeah, this is the new Riley block. This car was remade and put onto the new mesh by the George. I think this car looks pretty cool. I'm gonna rate this one a 9. I think this car looks a lot better than the old mesh that it was on. So yeah, I think that the 98, both 98 cars are actually gonna receive a 9 from me. That may mean something. You never know. This is Bubba Zoomies. This is a common car that you can receive in crates. This was made by Ultra Citron. I'm pretty sure this is an album, but I don't know. I'm not really educated on the boost inside or the beast inside, I guess. This car is fine. I think it's just a standard fictional car. I'm gonna give it a 6. Now this car, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. This is a rarity of car that you can get in crates. This is Bubba Warhawk, also made by Citron, and this is 50 times better than the other 23 car that he made. This will be the first 10 for the community schemes. I think this scheme looks really cool, and I think you're going to see a lot of people running it on track. Yeah, I'm first 10. This is the third 10 of the update in scheme wise. Um, yeah, it's a pretty good scheme. We have two more crate schemes to cover, and this is Jeff. This is the newly remade Jeff Dynaco, made by Ultra Citron. I will say it looks a lot better than the old mesh did. This is the infamous T-Rex car. I'm gonna give this one an 8. I think this car looks a lot better than the old mesh, as I already said. And yeah, I think there's nothing more to say about it. It's a decently good car. This is the last crate car for this update. This is an uncommon car, again made by Ultra Citron. This is Jeffrey Gordon. This is the Rainbow. This is the Rainbow Warrior car remake onto the new mesh. I think this one honestly looks better than the T-Rex car. I'm gonna give this one a 9. I think that's not. I think this one honestly does look pretty good. Um, I kind of like it a lot. 9. Now you may be wondering, why are you staring at a corner? Here is the big part of this update. There is a game pass that you can buy. It will have 5 cars inside of it. And this is the first car. This is Reed's Buffet. This is Reed Sorensen's 2015 Daytona 500 car, made by Teapot. I'm a bit biased towards this one because I personally submitted the idea. Ooh, that's kind of funny. I personally submitted this scheme, or what did I say? I personally, sent them the scheme to see if it would have a chance of getting in, and lo and behold, it did. I like how this scheme is made. There's a lot of new custom logos here, and I think it's on. I think this is the first. Never mind, it's not the first Reed Sorensen car we've gotten, but I liked how it turned out. 9. This is the next Thanksgiving Game Pass scheme. This is Kevin Peanut Butter, made by Roxy Raz, and it's a decent scheme. I like it a lot. Uh, unfortunately, I think this car would have been better in crates. However, this scheme does look pretty good. I'll give it an 8. This is another Thanksgiving Game Pass scheme that you can get. This is Golden Goins, made by Ecstasy, or X, if you want to call them that. Yeah, this scheme looks pretty good. It's the same car that he ran to Indianapolis. Unfortunately, the car, as it was in real life, is kind of bland. I'll give it a 7. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Thankful Larson. It sounds a lot like Daniel Larson, but it's not. This car is basically just brown hue shifted Kyle Larson, or it's like a brown hue shifted regular Kyle Larson car. However, in a Game Pass wise, this is perfect. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 Game Pass car. Like 5 out of 10 regular scheme. I'm gonna give it a 10 because it's a good Game Pass car. Now you may be wondering, Chameleon, why are you staring at a wall? Well, let me tell you. This car is the controversial car of this update. The car itself looks decently good. It was made by X. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. However, the stipulations of this car is going to cause a direct reaction from the community. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Martin Final Jr., the final Thanksgiving Game Pass car. It should be in crates. Let's be real here. This has no right at all to be a Game Pass car. This car will most likely be here for a limited time. So after Thanksgiving, you probably will not be able to get this car, and it's looking very bleak. It is. There's going to be a lot of backlash for this car, considering that it's going to be locked behind a paywall and will be limited time. And this is one of the most requested schemes by the Rostock community. It is one of the most special schemes in NASCAR in the recent 5 years, and it is, for a limited time, locked behind a paywall. Now, you might be wondering, what is the paywall? Well, for a price of 300 Robux, you'll be able to buy all 5 cars, including the Truex. And now that I think about it, all 4 of these left side cars should be in crates. You might now realize why I gave the 5 car a 10. Because it was the only car deserving to be in this Game Pass in the first place. All of these other cars should be in crates. And when Christmas time starts, none of these 4 cars that you will see over here will be available to buy. Now, you can buy this for 300 Robux. Which might not be a problem for some people. But it is for others. And now it's time to move on to the other Robux product. It is not in this lobby, but you will be able to buy fire suits in the future. Or you'll be able to buy fire suits this update. I know that there's a Chase Elliott one, there's a Joey Logano one, and there's some Monster Energy ones. And you can buy them in the group store. I don't know how much these will be. You will find out update. I'm just showing you what's in update right now. While the fire suits are cool, the problem with them is that they have fake logos. I'm just saying, I don't think people are going to buy a fire suit if it has a fake logo on it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but in my opinion, I don't think a lot of people will buy that because it has fake logos on it. Now I know Rostock kind of has that whole fake logo thing, but I don't really know. Like so there are custom and replica fire suits. The custom fire suits, they're fine. I think those will have a good chance of selling. But the replica fire suits, like the Chase Elliott and Joey Logano ones, I don't know if people are going to buy those because they have the fake logos on them. So for the fire suits, I'm gonna rank them. I'm gonna give them a 5. I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty fair. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give them a 5. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead a little bit because I need to do some math with my scores. So yeah, I'll see you when we get there. Alright guys, after a bit of math, I can finally give this update a rating. Even though there is a lot of decisions for this update that I did not give a rating to, or did not affect the rating in any single way, the unbiased rating, or the rating for this update, will be a 7.8 out of 10. It is a 78 out of 100. In an American school, you would get a C plus for this update. This was my first Rostock update video. If you want me to make more, Please like and subscribe and tell a friend about the video so they can like and subscribe. This is Chameleon signing out. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you at some time.